Hey man, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the Daily Pennsylvanian office.
Thank you. So how's it going?
It's going good, just finishing up edits on a story going out tomorrow.
Oh, nice. So what's your role for today?
So tonight's prod night, so we are just all, working to make sure we have the paper out tomorrow.
Is this last week's issue?
Yes, it is. Pen and divestment.
So what do you do at the DP?
So at the DP, I'm an identities desk editor.
What do you do as a desk editor?
So as a desk editor, I write with other beats to publish and edit stories.
Were you always an identities desk editor?
No, so before desk editor, I was an beat reporter and then a general assignments reporter.
And do you still report as a desk editor?
Yep, I still do.
Oh, nice. So where are you usually on production night?
I am in the newsroom, which we call the Blue Room.
And where's that?
Well, let's go.
Are we going on a tour?
Yep, a little tour of the office.
Is there a name for the office in general?
So the Pink Palace, because of the pink accents everywhere, but everyone just calls it the office.
How big is the office?
So it's pretty big. We have our 3 publications, the DP, then Under the Button, our satirical publication, and then also 34th Street Magazine, our cultural and arts magazine. And each publication has their own space, so it's pretty big overall. And now we can ask a question to the DP editor-in-chief, Jonah, who's in his office right now. Hey Jonah, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you do?
What do I do? Well, it's a lot of managing our amazing team of editors, reporters, photographers, videographers, designers, really helping to determine the overall look and feel of our publication.
And Jonah, I have a question for you as well.
Yeah.
Why should people get involved in the DP?
Well, the DP is a really great community of people to be around first and foremost. This is a great group of people to work with, learn with, hang out with, and really make an amazing product. But also it's a great thing where we really do get to make a difference on campus. And that's probably my favorite part of being on the DP.
Yep, I agree. Let's go to the newsroom.
So
This
in the
way.
newsroom, what's one story you wrote that was very meaningful to you?
One story, probably frustrated, ignored, Black Du Bois residents react to demographics and living conditions.
And when did you write that?
At the end of last academic calendar year.
And why is that story meaningful to you?
Probably its significance. I talked to staff, alumni, students about a space that in its inception 50 years ago came about as a safe space for Black students, so I saw if it was still a safe space.
And how did you find out about the story?
Yeah, through group chats at Penn specifically, it received a lot of attention, so I looked more into it.
And what was a challenge to writing that article?
Yeah, probably that I talked to enough residents so that it was fair and balanced.
And how did you find enough people to interview?
Probably going to the college house itself and asking residents if they were interested in being interviewed, and then also going through Black channels at Penn to see if people were being interested in being interviewed.
And how do you avoid conflicts of interest?
It's impossible to exhaustively list all conflicts of interest. However, the gist is not to report on things relating to organizations you're a part of or affiliated with.
And what if there's a gray area and you don't know if there's a conflict of interest?
Yeah. Then a reporter would ask their editor, and the editor has full jurisdiction to, say if a conflict is apparent.
Has a conflict ever stopped you from pitching a story?
Yeah, so I'm really involved in politics on campus, so I'm barred from reporting on anything, political related. Yeah, and now we can go to the Blue Room, which is just this way.
So what do you do here specifically?
Yeah, so in the Blue Room, I work with the news editors, one of which is Emmy in the Blue Room right now, and then I also work with the other desk editors. Jared, we can say hi in here. Hey guys, how are you?
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Emmy. I'm one of the news editors here, along with Tori.
Nice. And what do you do as a news editor?
Yeah, I mainly do second edits after desk editors like Jared do first edits.
Nice. And do you all use those computers in the back?
Yeah, we do like using our computers, but we also use our laptops for convenience.
And another question I have for you is, how do you make sure you report on your sources accurately?
Yeah, of course. So during interviews, we ask people if they can be on the record, and then we also record the interviews so that we remember them or remember quotes later.
And what does on the record mean?
Yeah, so on the record means that we can use anything in the interviews in the article.
If not on the record, then how can someone be sourced?
Yeah, there's 3 ways. So you can be on background, not for attribution, or off the record.
What's on background?
Yeah, so on background means that I can use information from my sources, but I can't directly quote them.
And off the record?
Off the record means I can't use any information from what they told me.
And what does not for attribution mean?
Yeah, not for attribution means that I can directly quote someone, but I can't use their name in the article.
And is there a general rule for all of these?
Yeah, the best rule of thumb is to make sure that the person you're talking to knows what all these terms mean.
And what if someone wants to be anonymous?
Oh, Jared, do you want to take this question?
Yeah, sure. Any anonymous source has to be quoted at the not for attribution level. We sometimes make rare exceptions for sensitive matters, but on the whole we want to corroborate our stories with as much on-the-record info as possible.
Does anyone know anonymous sources?
So at least one reporter and editor has to know the identity of the anonymous source.
What if someone says they want to be anonymous at the end of an interview?
That can't happen. It has to be negotiated before the interview takes place.
So after interviews, research, and writing the story, what happens next?
So after beats reporters write, it goes through 2 rounds of edits. It'll be looked over by a desk editor like myself or Matteo, or a news editor like Emmy before it gets published.
Yeah. So after initial edits on my story, I had to go back to make, some more edits.
In what way?
So I had to make connections with admin because students, complained about housing. So I had to make sure it was fair in that way.
And after at least 2 editors look over the story, what happens?
Copy.
And what's that?
We can go there right now. So the newsroom is directly across from the copy room. Here's the copy room. We call it the red room too. Okay. This is our incoming copy editor.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Allison.
And what does copy do?
So once the story is uploaded into our content management system, Copy fact checks and reviews the story based on a typical style guide created exclusively for the DP to ensure an article is ready to publish.
And what do you do in your position?
So as the incoming copy editor, I will manage a team of copy deputies and associates who all help to review and fact check material.
Do you just copy for news?
No, we edit for sports, opinion, 34th Street, we do it all.
And what happens if a correction is needed?
So in the DP, if a factual error is found in a published piece, we state at the bottom of the article what the original version of the article included, the corrected information, and an acknowledgement that we regret the error.
What about if a source wants to retract their statement?
I think I can answer that question. That'd be a good question for Pia. So we can go to her office. Hi, Pia. How are you? Good, good.
Hi, Pia. Hello. If someone wants to report an error in a story, who should they reach out to?
So they can reach out to me as well as the editor of the story, and our entire staff directory is listed on our website.
And what happens if someone wants to retract their statement?
So if someone wants to retract either their identity from a piece or the entire article themselves, in any of our publications, the DP's executive board would then decide by vote count whether or not that retraction can be made. And that board consists of our president, the exec editor, the business manager, the 3 editor-in-chiefs of our publications, as well as 2 at-large members.
And are you the executive editor?
Yes, I am.
What did you do before being executive editor?
I was a news editor and a politics beat reporter.
And what's your role as executive editor?
So I oversee all the editorial content, the strategy, as well as our board of editors and managers and staffers of our 3 publications, the Daily Pennsylvanian, 34th Street Magazine, and Under the Button, as well as our copy, photo, video, design, podcast departments.
Do you still report?
I do sometimes, yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Pia, for being in the video.
Of course, thank you guys.
Of course.
So after a while your story goes through copy, what happens to the article?
Yeah, so after our story goes through copy, we work with our photo and design editors.
And what does the design and photo editor do?
So they work with their respective staffers to ensure each one of our articles has a visual. So mine, Du Bois' story, had a cool graphic design for it because it was a feature.
And what's a feature?
Yeah, a feature is a type of soft news written by a reporter who has a specific expertise in an issue. They're usually much longer than our typical articles.
And so after you have a visual and the article is through copy, what happens?
Then we go through publicizing, of which I can show you Kira, our incoming social media editor. Okay, so hi Kira, how are
Hello,
you?
good, how are you?
I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
How's
Hey,
publicizing?
So as incoming social media editor, I'm going to be training associates on how to draft captions for articles to promote on all of our social media platforms.
And what platforms do you publicize your work on?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
And if people want to follow the DP on those platforms, what should they look up?
At Daily Pen on all platforms.
Yep. Thank you, Kira. So
Yep,
that's
of
the
course.
gist of it, from initial edits, second edits, copy, design, photo, social media. That's how an article goes through news.
So what else do you do at the DP?
So at the DP, I am in the diversity committee. I am also a fellow.
What do you do in that diversity committee?
So we meet weekly. Everyone in the company is invited, and we, discuss issues relating to diversity, inclusion, and belonging in the company.
And what's a fellow?
So a fellow is a part of the fellows program in which 5 students who are underrepresented at the DP get a $4,000 stipend because they are financially eligible, and also an alumni mentor. My alumni mentor this year was Helen Gim, so that was very exciting.
How was your experience?
It was really good. I thought all of the fellows really, created a community, and I'm excited to see who next year's fellows are.
What's your project as part of the fellowship?
It's this.
Oh, nice. And what other projects is the committee working on?
So we are working on a community guide.
What's in the community guide?
So the community guide is a larger part of this project. It really clarifies a lot about our reporting and the inner workings of our company.
And where can we find it?
So you can find it on thedp.com if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the website and click Community Guide.
And second to last question, what are your plans for next semester?
I'm the incoming Diversity and Inclusion Director, which I'm very excited for.
Anything else you want to add?
No, check out the Community Guide on our website and stay tuned to initiatives from the Diversity Committee.
Thank
Okay.
you so much, Matteo.
Absolutely. Bye, guys.